Spent a week in a dusty library, waiting for some words to jump in me. We met by a trick of fate. French Navy, my sailor maid. We met by the moon and the silvery lake. You came my way, said I want you to stay. You with your dietary restriction said you love me with a lot of conviction. I was waiting to be struck by lightning, waiting for somebody excited like you. Oh, the thing that you do, you make me go ooh. With the thing that you do, you do, you do. I wanted to control it, but love, I couldn't hold it. I wanted to control it, but love, I couldn't hold it.
Hey, how's it going, people? Fat Sammy here from PulseBitcoin.win. Hope everyone's doing well. Today is the 30th, and after our recent videos about all sorts of farming protocols, Vox, Emit, we covered Nexion, and recently, last week I did some videos about Hex, of why I think that was going to pump. It's just started to really warm up now, Hex. And obviously after yesterday's video about PLS, I thought let's give Pulse Bitcoin some love. The Pulse Bitcoin ecosystem, which includes the ASIC mining token, which mines you Pulse Bitcoin and Pulse Litecoin. So yeah, it looks like they've had a nice little pump recently on the Pulse chain. So I'm not sure if you guys were paying attention, but earlier this year, the ETH side of the ecosystem had a really aggressive march upwards. ASIC pulling off of like a 30x, Pulse Bitcoin pulling off a 20x on that side. So a lot of people who got involved in that made a lot of money on that great momentum. Looks like they're having a bit of a pullback on that side at the moment. And now it looks like the PulseChain side is warming up after going quiet for a few months. So it looks like it's just starting to warm up. Let's have a look at the charts, shall we? Yes. Here we are. Okay. What have we got here then? So now we're looking at the Pulse Bitcoin charts, and this is against PLS, or against USD. And as you can see, kind of since its existence of the Pulse chain, it's kind of been in a general downtrend. We kind of tend to find this with tokens that are mined. Same as kind of reward tokens. Especially Pulse Bitcoin, it was paying such high yield in its early days. In the early few, in the first halving here in this area, you were getting 7.5% a month paid in yield, right? So obviously a lot of people sell that off, and after a few halvings now, I think we're on our third halving here, we're starting to ease off. So last year, we had a pump around August that lasted to October. And that was when we had that bit of a pulse chain kind of picking up momentum for that short period of time last year. We did a nice 813% move. And now I kind of see something similar happening here. But this time, I do believe we will break out. So we've already gone up, 4.4 from the bottom. But this time, I do believe we have momentum. See, look at this. This was straight up before. Didn't really get time to consolidate, but this time we've come up here, but now we've consolidated, which I like. We've bounced off that middle heart line. I think we could possibly break out of this time. I see that happening this time. Obviously, I'm not a fucking genie, but I see it as possible here. And I think this could be a really nice pump, especially if PulseChain, which I believe starts a bit of its bull run now in the next 4 months. Being tied against Pulse, being a very limited supply token, only 20 million will ever come into existence. I think we've got a real good chance here of pumping extremely crazy. And as you can see here, Pulse Bitcoin up 18% on the day. Beautiful. Let's have a look at ASIC. This is the token you mine with. Both you can mine your Pulse Bitcoin and Pulse Litecoin at the same time via dual mining. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. So last year they had a pump up from around, let's have a look. Yeah, they had a pump up of around 17x during that period where PulseChain pumped last season. So, you know, very nice. Looks like we're just starting again to pump up again. Similar kind of pattern. We're kind of up from the bottom recently, around 3x, 4x. So that's good. Just starting to wake up again. Can we break out of this downward channel? I think it's very possible if the PulseChain momentum keeps going. And if we do, let's say it gets a previous all-time high on the PulseChain, that's a nice 10, 11x move. So beautiful. And then the beauty of this is, while you're holding your ASIC, you can dual mine, getting yourself around 58% APR with those 2 coins you're mining. And then you can go and throw those reward tokens into further farms and get some crazy gains, which I'll show you in a little bit. Let's have a look at Pulse Litecoin. Oh, sorry, by the way, ASIC is up 45% today. What a wake up from ASIC. 45%. And just when I'm showing you these charts here, some of you are going to go, oh, only 8.3k liquidity on ASIC, only 15k liquidity on PLSB. Incorrect. The way this is structured on the PulseChain, we have so many different pools all over the place that liquidity is spread. So you might want to use an aggregator like Pitius for this sort of thing. There you are. You buy your Pulse Litecoin there, you buy your ASIC, anything. Talking of Pulse Litecoin, up 19.7% on the day. I think this one's just breaking out of this formation here. Look at that. 2 rising valleys here. Very bullish, extremely bullish. Now this one, looks like smiley faces there. That's very nice, isn't it? This one, I'm particularly excited about because this one has extremely small supply. I think the maximum that will ever come into existence on PulseChain will be about 3 to 4 million tokens. So I think, yeah, this one initially, it's in its first halving, which is follows the PulseBitcoin halving, so technically it's halving 3, but you're getting 4 times the amount of tokens for the miners than you're getting with PulseBitcoin at the moment. That will then halve, obviously, at the next halving. But this one is almost like a really super rare meme. So I think this one's really got a chance to fly. It's only had a sell-off so far. It's now reversed its trend. So I'm really excited to see what price targets we get to in the coming months with this one. So that's Pulse Litecoin. Right, this is how you dual mine. So if you've got yourself some ASIC, you can copy the contract address here from Dex Screener. Go over to Pitius, buy yourself some ASIC there. Look, ASIC, beautiful. Buy it that way, using whatever tokens you have. And then you go to pulselitecoin.app/mine. Now, you can go to pulsebitcoin.app and mine that way, but you're only going to be mining Pulse Bitcoin. So I do recommend mining via Pulse Litecoin. You can connect your wallet here and you can dual mine. Wait 30 days, come back, get your tokens out, get your ASIC back. You can either start again, but then you want to take your PLSB and your PLTC rewards and take them over to places like this. So Nexion, right? Nexion, pulse.com. So you want to come here, click on the Flux Farms. Boom. Where are we? Boom. Okay. Didn't have the effect I wanted, did it? Flux Farms. Okay. Now you can search for the pools. So this is paired with the Rage token. It's like PLSB. So currently they're paying 769% per annum for and currently there's $1,200 staked in there, so people are getting lovely rewards in there for their PLSB staked with Rage. How do you do that? Well, you go to PulseX, not swap, sorry, I had the wrong screen there. You add liquidity, you want to type in Rage, well, you might have to copy the contract address. So you add liquidity via V2, and then you'd be issued a PLP token. You don't have to find that, that'll be automatic. You come back to your farm over here on this website, connect your wallet, and then you can stake. Click max, and then you can stake that PLP token and get your 770% reward there. And you can claim that whenever you like. So, you know, let's say $1,000 is going to get you about $20 a day, right? Which is pretty awesome. So that'd be $500 of PLSB, $500 of Rage. It's going to earn you around $572 a month. Not bad. Not bad for $1,000, right? It's getting half your money back in a month or over. You can also do the same with PLTC here. Pulse Litecoin. There we are. They're paying 1,677%. You can do the same with ASIC. Sorry, where is it? ASIC, it was there earlier. There we are. ASIC, similar percentage there. So yeah, whatever you want, PLSB, ASIC. So it looks like at the moment, PLTC and ASIC is paying the highest. So that might be an opportunity there for you. If you want to take less risk, because obviously, let's have a look at the chart. That's the Rage chart right now, so it's newer. Like a lot of reward tokens, it's been in that downtrend. It looks like it's kind of starting to stabilize here. Up 12% on the day, which is nice. So yeah, obviously much higher rewards on this one. But if you want a little bit more stability, you can go over to emit.farm. Scroll down and you'll find that the PulseBitcoin ecosystem pools. You can either pair with PLSB/emit for 126%. Or what you can do, this is a very popular one, you can take your PulseBitcoin and your Pulse Litecoin, pair them together without having to buy any other tokens, and you get 22.4% additional to your 58% you're mining with every year, right? So 68, 78, you get around 80% then for mining with ASIC rather than just mining, you're farming with your rewards, so you're compounding. And for some people, they even like to help out with ASIC liquidity by pairing some PLSX with ASIC. There's only $1,700 in that one, but they're paying 116% APR there. So actually, that one's even more effective than mining. But just remember, you'll be earning emit token rather than PulseBitcoin and Pulse Litecoin. So you've got to think to yourself, what's going to go up more? Am I better to get that higher guaranteed APR than mining with my ASIC, or do I want to stick it in this pool? I would argue that you probably want to mine your PLSB and PLTC and get those in the farms because you're probably going to get that huge price appreciation we talked about earlier with PulseBitcoin and Pulse Litecoin. Let's have a look at emit charts here. The emit chart, as you can see here, stabilized very nicely. So much lower risk for you. You're obviously not going to get the high yields you're going to get via Nexion over here, but you most certainly will get a nice stable, decent yield here on emit. So it depends on what your risk appetite is. If you want to find some of the liquidity pools, come to Gecko Terminal, and if we type in PLSB, that says PLS, let's type PLSB. You can see all of the pools here we have. So you've got the PulseBitcoin USDC on Uniswap, currently around 34,000. You've got one here, PLSB WPLS, around 16,000 there. With PulseX, 8.3 thousand. PLSB with Pulse Litecoin, around 9,000 there. So you've got loads of pools here. Absolutely, you've got the Fux pool here, another $10,000 in there. ACR, another $9,000. Loads of pools. You can go to ASIC and have a look there. There we are. Very similar again. All these different pools here. You can swap between. And then we've got PLTC. This one's got less liquidity, so it's newer. But this I think can really pump. That's the fun with this one. But there you are. Multiple pools there. You can play around with $9,000 in that one. Beautiful. So there we are. And let's have a quick look at something I want to talk to you about. Livecam 2. Where's Livecam 2? There we are. Ooh, a bit early for this high definition, I think, for me. Right. So I've been trying to share a website upgrade I'm doing for PulseBitcoin.win. Currently, if you go to PulseBitcoin, it looks okay. You know, it's pretty nice looking site. All the information's there. It looks really great. Easy to explain. Lots of detail. White paper. Details about mining. All the stuff you want to go and hear about. Why PulseBitcoin is better. But look, all that stuff I've shown you today on all those different websites should be in one place, in my opinion. A new user should go there, should see, right, ASIC token, get started with your mining. Do you want to mine on this chain or this chain? Okay, go to that. Here's all the places you can buy it. Here's all the places you can mine with it. Here's all the liquidity pools. It should all be there in one place for you, So I'm trying to get that raised at the moment, $1,500. I think we've only got around, I've got around $550 in there at the moment. I think another $100 has been committed today. Another 150 or another 50 from someone else. So I think we're around $700. Not even quite halfway yet to the $1,500. That has pretty much been from 7 or 8 people, including the Vox team. Shout out to the Vox team for their contribution. We appreciate that. But yeah, it's all been from generous individuals. Haven't really seen any community members apart from those kind of admins donate. So it'd be really cool if you guys can dig deep, and the community fundraiser address is there. The guy's already started work, so I would like to, not waste his time. And obviously we're a decentralized project, right? I mean, if I pay for this whole thing, it's not really a good show of a community Bitcoin, is it really? So yeah, I just wanted to give another shout out to PulseBitcoin Poland. The guy running this account has been doing a great job running the PulseBitcoin community over in Poland. He's doing some fantastic posts, so please give him a follow. Here he is at PulseBitcoin PL, and look at some of these AI. He's even on holiday right now, and he's kind of timed all this stuff to release automatically. What a great job! Look at some of this AI he's done. Some of these AI images, just consistently good stuff. So yeah, give him a follow. We need people like this. It's awesome, sharing the good word. Pump it up. But yeah, I think that's about it from me, guys. As I say, so far, everything's moving in the right direction. We're having some nice pumps on the PulseChain. So yeah, let's get going. Let's make some money. Take care.